So this is the second take, mate, because I already recorded like 20 minutes and I just realized that my microphone kind of sucks there. So I'm not quite sure if this is going to be good. Let's see, the levels seem to be okay. So let's start again. Hey everybody, Jeff here and welcome to our new video. Today's video is going to be the second part on this bad boy right here. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the iPad 8th generation 2020. If you haven't watched the first part yet, make sure you click on the I button right here where I'm going to be linking the first video, which is pretty much my opinion about this iPad from a photographer's point of view. So before we get into the video, let's start by answering a simple question. Is this iPad, or any iPad for that matter, going to replace a desk computer or a laptop? No. I mean, that's reality. Look, here's the thing. I know I'm making this video and hold on, just let me explain. The thing with iPads in general, not just about this one, it's just the fact that we can do it in a very compressed way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you think about it, I was able to already edit 3 4K videos on this little thing. But it's not going to replace any sort of computer because this is pretty basic, at least now. Now it is. The workflow is quite uncomplicated for certain things, but the moment you decide to go a little bit further into your editing process, it's going to get a little bit trickier. But with that out of the way, let's talk about everything that I absolutely loved about this iPad. How about some ASMR? What do you think? Do you like it? It's kind of weird, isn't it? Okay, I'm gonna stop now. So to start editing your video properly, you want to use this particular app. I'm not quite sure if you're going to be able to see it, but it's the LUMAFUSION app. So this app is very, very capable. I have to say that the workflow is really simple, it's very logical. It does take a little bit of a learning curve, but nothing really out of this world. I mean, it's quite logical. Like once you get a grasp of it, you're good to go. So even though you're not going to break the bank, bear in mind that this app is going to run you $30. Again, considering this is the cheapest iPad that has come this year so far, I was able to edit 4K videos without any issues at all, which is ridiculous because my iMac sometimes struggles a little bit and my MacBook is okay, but the moment those clips are color corrected or color graded, it starts getting a little bit choppy. The playback was perfect. I have seriously no complaints about that. Though I have to say, even though it's 4K, I recorded absolutely everything with my EOS R, but on IPB mode, which is like the smallest size file. But it's nonetheless 4K. And on top of that, I already edited a video with iPhone shots and the playback was awesome as well. The user face feels really familiar and all your tools are very simple to understand. And for color correction, it might not be the best, but it's very, very capable. And one of the things that I found the most impressive is how fast those videos were exported. And in my opinion, a very dope feature, but of course, it's going to cost you another 20 or 30 bucks, something like that, is that you are able to export the whole thing to Premiere. Yes, it's a little, I think it's called XPS. Let me double check on that.
6.5 hours later.
So it is called XML and it's going to cost you, let's see,
1 eternity later.
30 bucks is going to cost you 30 bucks. So in theory, for 60 bucks, you would be able to buy the app. And on top of that, you would be able to export to Premiere to keep working on a computer if you so prefer. The third thing, I believe it's the third thing. And if not, let's just pretend it is. If you have a relatively new MacBook Pro, you're going to be able to use a function called Sidecar, which is going to enable you to use your iPad as a second screen. And I just got this bad boy from Amazon. I'm going to link it in the description down below because I was really amazed with this. I absolutely love it and it costs peanuts. You can just put it, does it look good? You can barely see it, but it kind of gives you like that iMac look. And of course, I already talked about this on my previous video, but if you're already invested into the entire Apple ecosystem, there's AirDrop. And if you know where AirDrop is, you know how good it is. So those are all the things I really liked about the iPad. But there are a bunch of things that really, I have to say, they're quite disappointing at the same time. And some of this could be even a deal breaker for a lot of you guys. So the first thing, and this one is the biggest one in my opinion, is when you import files. So I just got myself a dongle so I can import absolutely everything directly from my SD card. But for some reason, every time that I was trying to import into the Files app, it just didn't allow me to. I'm not quite sure if this is because this is not an original Apple thing, and that could be my mistake. I've heard about a bunch of people on YouTube having the same issue. So I'm not quite sure if this is because of the iPad or I don't know what that is. It's quite complicated, which means that you have to use the Photos app, which is, I don't know. I mean, it is a nice workaround, but it's not the most professional one. And the big issue with importing from your Photos app is that you have no clue how long is it going to take for your iPad to import all the files. As stupid as it sounds, Apple did not implement anything. I mean, on the top corner, if I'm not mistaken, you're going to see a circle where it says the progress. And this, to be honest with you, it took me roughly a week of trial and error because I was trying for ages, and I think the very first video I uploaded was something like 15 or 16 gigabytes, and I was like, after 1 or 2 hours, I was like, right, so this is not importing anything. So I just stopped and I just kept doing the whole thing until I did a little bit of research, and I was like, you know what, let me just do it overnight. So the next morning, the video was there, which means that it was very, 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 very slow. You have absolutely no clue. And that, in my opinion, is a massive deal breaker. The next thing that I really do not appreciate about this one, and bear in mind, this is the cheapest iPad, right? It's this right here. It's got no USB-C port. The iPad Air and the iPad Pro, they do have USB-C. This iPad still comes with the Lightning port, which is okay, but if you want to do a little bit of heavier work, it's just not going to work. And if you decide to get the basic version of this iPad, one 4K video, and then you've got no more storage space, that's a little bit of an issue. And the third thing, and this is going back to LumaFusion, unfortunately for some reason you don't have the option to stabilize your footage, and you cannot work with keyframes. And unfortunately this is just the tip of the iceberg. For very basic, like kind of like a vlog or kind of like a tutorial like this type of editing, the iPad is perfect. But for something a little bit more, let's put in air quotes, professional or more creative, you're kind of screwed. So yeah, that's pretty much, in my opinion, all the pros and the cons about the cheapest iPad of 2020. So what do you think? Is it worth it? Is it not? Is it just a gimmick? I mean, to be honest with you, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, it's not going to replace 100% a computer. That's just not the fact. But definitely a nice option to keep in your toolbox. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it. This is not a review by any means. These are just my opinions from a videographer's point of view. However, if you would like me to make a tutorial about LumaFusion, let me know in the comment section down below. Like I mentioned it before, it's quite simple, but I'll be more than glad to do it. If you found this video useful, make sure you click that like button over there. And if you would like to have more videos like this in the future, of course click that subscribe button right there. This is Jeff, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.